What is up, my pylons? It's me, Gamer Pyle, and I am back with another episode of my Crying Son's First Look, and I have to tell you something, we had to break this up into two parts because it just got so long. We did all the great stuff with the adventures in the beginning and shooting the ships down and getting cool new drones and such like that, but we got to such a huge amount of plot and lore, we had to break it into two episodes. So without any further ado, thank you for being here. I've got my drink, my handy-dandy notebook, and most importantly, you. Let's go ahead and see what they had to say about it.
Save what remains if you can, Quone, and promise me something, even if it's possible. Think twice about unfreezing her. This galaxy, I'm not sure anyone should wake to this.
I promise that I will. Skadoosh. That's very convenient that we were able to finish that entire wall of text in the amount of time it took for the ship to almost explode and then finally exploded as soon as he was done with his last sentence. Thanks, ship. We've reached Elysium, Admiral. It's time. You heard what Okonkwo said. Oberon sits on his throne, waiting for us. Then let's not keep him waiting a moment longer. And remember what I said, Admiral. If you try anything, I'll have to protect him. I'll keep that in mind, machine. Imperial Palace Elysium. Oh my gosh, we're getting a bonus scene, boy. Let's get the mouse out of the way. There's a cracked glass and everything, though. It's a nice touch, actually. There's a lot of things that are falling apart over here. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me with a gun in my hand. And Caliban right next to me. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
My eyes deceive me. In Idaho and a Caliban, in my broken palace. Say something, so I know you're real.
You killed me, old man, and froze Rebecca, here where I stand. And now I'll have my revenge.
Your hatred before me burns hotter than the suns.
The Crying Sons.
But you are mistaken, clone. I didn't kill you. I killed Idaho. You two are not the same, at least not yet. But I see you have at least one of his memories. The worst one there is. Your inhibitor is flawed. Now I know why it took you decades to find me.
Enough. I will not listen to you anymore, Emperor. The time has come to end you. Uh-oh. I'm pointing the gun at him. Caliban. I've warned you, Admiral. Oh, dang. Look at those. Look at these. He turned his hands into guns. He's got gun hands. Oh, that's sweet.
It's fine, Caliban. You can relax. The truth is, I've grown so tired.
Wait, I wonder if I'm one of Oberon's clones. Like a Jango Boba Fett kind of thing. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I failed the Empire, and each moment is a reminder of that. Yes, let the clone kill me if he wants, but only after we talk. He has many questions. Besides, maybe he even wants to become the original. And I am the only one who can make that happen. Now, what is it that you wish to know, clone?
Why? Why did you cry, oh Rebecca?
You have talked to Okonkwo, I see. She knew that was enough. The most famous Imperial Admiral refusing the Emperor's orders. Oh, I couldn't risk that getting out.
You made her watch.
That was for his punishment.
Executing me wasn't enough.
You still think you are him, clone? Interesting. No, his death wasn't anywhere near enough. I was angry. I gave in to that anger. Let it eat me alive. I watched as she watched, and it gave me great pleasure. But the plan was to take that moment from you, hence the inhibitor. You were never supposed to relive it, while I, on the other hand, could relive it as much as I wanted.
Your heart is black.
and you have blackened it. I made you famous throughout the stars, put your names on the lips of every citizen, and you repay me how? By refusing my orders and putting my empire in danger.
You're forgetting something, old man.
And what is that?
You're not a god. You can't just take my life into your hands and do with it whatever you want.
You're wrong. I am a god. I'm your god. I decided when you would die, and I decided when you'd be born again. I have resurrected you hundreds of times.
I have to go ahead and take a little drink here. It's a bit much for me. The guy's got some raspy voice there.
If that doesn't make me a god, I don't know what would.
Dang, there's a whole lot of things here that I should be... I have a lot of time. Whew. Hope you got some time today, folks.
Why? Why did you erase an entire planet? You murdered the survivalists. You murdered millions.
I did what I did for the Empire. I always have.
For the Empire? For your power? For glory?
That planet had a sickness, a nasty little ideology that would have spread to other sectors and clusters unless I cut it out. So, I cut it out. You've seen the horrors of an empire without omnis. That is what the survivalists wanted.
But that is no reason to wipe them out of existence.
Many more lives would have been lost had I not killed them. Don't you see that? We can't live without them. We no longer know how. We haven't known for hundreds of years.
You think that way, but it's not human.
You think I'm a monster, but you have also killed to protect your crew dozens, if not hundreds of times. You would not have gotten this far if you had not. You and I, it's what we do, clone. We kill out of duty. That's why I took out that planet, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Tell me more about Gehenna and Project Pericles.
I worked on designing that planet for 300 years, clone, creating giant builder omnis for its construction. You see, all of this had to be done outside the fold net. None of our enemies could know what I was doing, nor the machines. When I was done, I sent the builders to Gehenna secretively. To anyone else, they would have appeared to be nothing more than drift metal floating aimlessly by. When they were done with Gehenna's construction, they built the first Calibans. Then the builders melted, as they were programmed to do, their metal seeping into the barren dirt of that forsaken planet. And of course, when Gehenna stopped receiving a signal from Elysium, a Caliban awoke you, as they had been programmed to, thinking that the Omnis had rebelled against us.
But how could one battleship be enough to ever defeat the Omnis? I don't understand.
That's because you never found the rebelling Omnis. Had you, you would have activated the second phase of Project Pericles. Simultaneous production of battleships and crews, hundreds if needed, all commanded and run by clones. The NS Odysseus was simply the reconnaissance ship.
Why did you choose the original Idaho for the project? Why not someone else who was loyal to you?
My arm's got to be getting tired, right? Like, stand up there, it's going to be shaking at this point.
The original had been selected from birth. No, before birth. I created him, just like I created the first advanced machines. For 3 centuries, I manipulated events, influencing his family's bloodlines. He was bound to enter this world one day, and he did. He wasn't the only one I monitored, but he was by far the most perfect specimen I had ever created. I watched Ellis closely, but from afar, all the way until his graduation from the academy. It was clear, and right away, that he was preternaturally gifted. His instincts, his intellect, his poise were second to none among his peers. Ellis was our ultimate shield against the machines, a weapon fashioned from flesh.
He coughs there, because, you know, he's getting himself worked up. He's an old man, he's dying, so that's where he coughs.
But then he changed. He started to doubt the cause, and everything he had ever worked for. He doubted me even, the man who made him. I don't know how this happened. It shouldn't have happened. Everything was in its place.
He was his own person, Oberon. I'm getting a lot of popping on that. Sorry, I took the pop filter off so that I wouldn't get popping, but it was like in my way and me blocking this much of my face. I figured you'd rather look at this, right? Right? No? Yeah, well.
He shouldn't have been. By the time I executed him, plans were too far along to find another candidate for the project. So, I took his emotional memories. He was still the best without them. But time has proven it was all for nothing, Project Pericles. Time has proven this plan powerless, a failure, a total waste of time and effort. I always knew the Empire would fall apart one day. All empires do. British, Mongol, Roman. All empires crumble.
Why does he only say these Earthian Terran empires, huh? British, Mongol, Roman.
Long before your time, clone. Yes, I always suspected my empire would fall, but I never imagined it would happen the way it has. The machines didn't rise up against us. No, they shut down, and they'll never turn on again.
Really? Why not? How could you let us become so weak, so dependent on the Omni? You are our empire, emperor. You were supposed to protect us. Supposed to protect us. I'm trying to look away every time I say a P. I don't know if that was noticeable or not, but...
Men and women aren't supposed to live 700 years. It's unnatural. One sees too much. I know that now. And in my time, I've learned that humans, by their very nature, are flawed. They're weak, lazy. Give them an opportunity to stop thinking, to stop working, and they will. This is how they are.
They? You speak like you are not one of us.
I always tried my hardest not to be.
Still, that's no excuse for what's happening. You can't blame this on our shortcomings. You could have taken measures.
Do not speak to me of measures. Everything I've ever done has been a measure. Let me try to break it down for you. For hundreds of years now, our fate has been intertwined with the machine. There being 3 possible outcomes. 1, we live peacefully with the machine. 2, we use the machine to destroy one another. And 3, the machine comes to dominate us, possibly eradicating our very existence.
But we could have lived without them. You've forgotten that.
No, that was never a possibility. Given our ambition, our greed, our lack of foresight, humankind was always going to reach singularity, regardless of its possible consequences.
That's kind of true, actually. The hubris of mankind is pretty strong.
It's always been a matter of when, not if. And in a universe where singularity is inevitable, you'd better be damn sure you're prepared for it. That is what I tried to do. That was the role I gave myself. I created an empire that revolved around the machine, that worshipped the machine. I put in restrictions and rules. I limited how the Omnis could be used, and how many could be used. I limited the potential of the Omni itself. It was important not to give them too much power, too much freedom, or they'd leave us in the dust. Hence the Rubicon and the Master Node. By chance, on your strange dark journey here, did you ask yourself what could have happened had one of the other houses come into power? I'll tell you, we would have been at one another's throats in year 1. We would have all died off hundreds of years ago. So, measures, do not speak to me of measures. I kept the Empire together for nearly 700 years because of measures.
Maybe it is not humans who are flawed, Emperor, but your understanding of them. Maybe you really never really gave them a chance. You should have empowered humanity, helped it grow, instead of stifling it as you have.
The foolish ideals of the young. I wonder if the original Idaho felt the same way in the end. That might explain why he betrayed me as he did. But no, you were wrong. Only one thing kept the Empire and its people together for 700 years, my rule.
I have other questions for you, old man.
I believe you do, yes. More important questions.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of reading. I'm going to have to like split this into 2 different episodes here. Actually, since most of you probably have already seen it, you already know that I've split this into 2 different episodes here. And this one is all about the talking. I'm sorry it's not as exciting as the other one is. I don't even know that I'm going to have an intro for it. We'll just call it a TBC and continued therefrom. Or something like that. I'll figure it out. You already know. Why am I spitballing out loud now? These are all things that are going to happen in post-production. You'll already have seen the final decision. So there you go. Lo siento. What can we do to turn the Omnis back on?
You, your crew and Caliban? Nothing. At the rate we're going, with disease and poverty now flourishing, we'll be gone in 10 years. Everything we had was thanks to them, and, unfortunately, we lost our ability for self-survival long ago. The Omnis are shut down, and they'll never wake again. Our fate is sealed.
See, I can't imagine that. I mean, obviously humanity has lived previous to that. There's got to be some information somewhere, even if it decimates the population. You can restart an agrarian society literally anywhere.
You could change me into a builder class. I could build new Omnis. I can't make you a builder. Only an Omni can. Even I have grown too dependent on them. On you, machine.
So we reach the master node and turn them back on.
How, clone?
I don't know.
Nor do I. Through an invisible folder in the Terminus cluster, though, can take you there. You will never reach the master node itself, at least not alive.
Why not?
It's heavily guarded by my defensive system, the Aegis. With its hundreds of automated battleships, it was designed to be perfect, invincible, self-sufficient, resistant to all attacks.
You can't disarm it?
No. I had to be sure no one could. Not even myself.
But how did whoever shut down the machines reach it?
It is a mystery even to me, its designer. No, there's nothing that you can do now. Our fate is sealed.
The survivalists believe there exists a planet once part of the Empire where the advanced machines never existed.
Oh, they're wrong about that. The machines did exist there. I should know. I put them there.
Then it's true it really existed?
Earth, it was called. I was born there. It's there I invented the first positronic chip in 2070.
2070?
Their calendar clone, not ours.
What happened?
My machines began to make discoveries quickly. Our machines made discoveries. My company, Telos Industries, was producing them. But so were the companies that eventually became House Akabera Sung and Kosh Buendia. Their machines were inferior copies of my own. Still, it made them quite wealthy. We were known in those days as the Triumvirate. One of the discoveries that those first machines made allowed us to leave Earth and explore the nearest stars. An age of exploration had begun, one which brought us riches we'd never known. Our businesses grew exponentially, bringing in more money than all the countries on Earth combined. I became the richest man on Earth many times over, and with the success we were having, there was no reason to limit ourselves just to that planet. So, on my 101st birthday, I created the Empire. Naturally, I made myself its first emperor. The year was 2145, our year 0. It was fine at first as my empire grew, but soon jealousy and distrust arose back on Earth. A dangerous anti-machine terrorist movement started, which, just like the survivalists, wanted to do away with my creations. There was talk from the leaders of this movement of disbanding from the Empire, of getting rid of our machines, even though most predicted such a move would be disastrous. Despite such talk, I thought they would never go through with it. I never believed it possible. I thought the people of Earth were better than that. I was wrong. One day, they destroyed the folder connecting their tiny planet to the Empire, which, in turn, shut down the advanced machines on Earth. Oh, I could have taken military action. I could have made them build another folder. I could have made them do anything I wanted, but I realized something. They weren't worth the trouble. And I'm talking about family and friends, clone. If they couldn't appreciate what I had done, then I wanted nothing more to do with them. I vowed to act like Earth didn't exist, had never existed at all. I made it a crime to speak of Earth in the Empire and banned all knowledge of his existence. To prevent something like this from happening in the Empire, I made the machines the very fabric of its society. Everything revolved around them. Not just industry, like on Earth, but religion, too. I made them gods so that the lower class would worship them, and so that the nobles would desire to buy them. I did all of this, and yet, somehow, the memory of this planet of blue and green, as faint as it became, never completely disappeared. That's how the survivalists came to adopt their philosophy.
And does it still exist?
No. Without the machines, surely Earth died off hundreds of years ago. There's no way those people could have survived without them.
And you never once wanted to reach out and contact this planet?
No, not once. Earth was dead to me.
All right, let's find out about this master node.
We have heard of your master node terminal built at the dawn of the Empire and said to monitor all omnis in the clusters. We believe it played a pivotal role in the shutdown.
You have learned much on your travels, clone. Yes, whoever shut down the omnis, whichever enemy of mine it was, somehow reached the master node and tampered with it. But what most people do not know is that the master node had a second purpose, in addition to monitoring omnis throughout the clusters. It prevented omnis from communicating with one another.
Uh-oh, it is an omni. Oh my gosh. So this thought just approached my head that maybe it was one of the omnis that actually shut it down. And if they wanted to communicate with each other, that would be a good raison d'etre to do so. Because then they could, yeah.
Why were you worried about omnis communicating with one another?
I feared that if they ever shared information, they'd become too powerful. Perhaps even find a way to operate outside the confines of the Rubicon. It was another form of control, but my forms of controlling the omnis were not the problem. It was my failure to control the people of my empire.
But who reached the master node? Who shut down the omnis?
I do not know, clone. I've been thinking about it for 20 years, and yet I still do not know the answer. Who would have wanted to shut down the omnis? It makes no sense to me.
You think the shutdown was intentional?
Yes. I have to assume that whoever got past my aegis would have been intelligent. They would not have accidentally shut down the omnis after getting that far. Who did it? Who was capable? Not the Scrappers, the Church of Singularity, not my rival houses, and not the survivalists. There is no one else left. Yes, there is.
Well, who knew of the master node's location?
Who knew of it? No one, clone.
You never told anyone where it was in 700 years?
Never. Many have claimed to know where it was, but they were all charlatans or imbeciles like Dr. Karras. The fact is, I never trusted anyone enough to tell him or her where it was. After what I've been through for 7 centuries, you would understand.
It's you, Emperor. All these years, we wanted to meet you, and now it's finally happening.
And what do you think? You're disappointed.
I was expecting someone less human.
For as much as I tried to be, in the end, that is all I am, machine.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
What do we, the Calibans, do if all humans die?
Whatever you want. You'll be free to make that decision on your own. When I die, you are free, machine. No longer governed by my objectives. I made it so. The Calibans will inherit the universe.
And when we run out of Neo-N, we don't have enough on Gehenna to last us forever.
When you run out of enough power for your exoframes, there will be nothing left in the clusters, neither metal nor flesh.
Huh. Maybe not. I thought Caliban was gonna off the Emperor right there, honestly. You've taken so much from me, Oberon, but it's time you give back the one thing you can.
You speak of the original Idaho's memories. You can have them if you wish, but I warn you of what you might find there.
What do you mean?
Whatever you feel now will only be magnified. It hurts now when you think of Rebecca, and that is with limited memories. Imagine hundreds of her, thousands. Also, think, this is a man who fought and killed for a long time before Ganima. Once you receive his memories, you become him. Memories make a person.
No, it doesn't. Soul does. Sorry, dude.
And you might not like the person you've become.
I want to become someone. For better or worse, Admiral, Idaho is the only person I can become.
And as you wish. Caliban, give him his memories. Remove the inhibitor. No! No! You've seen, haven't you? You've seen what you have done.
No, it can't be.
I warned you.
He did it, not me.
But you and he are now the same, Alice. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I don't understand, Emperor.
I gave it to him. I told Idaho where the Master Node was. He was the only one I ever told in 700 years.
Dang, I didn't see that one coming at all. Oh, boy. Yo, we're our own foil. But you said you didn't tell anyone.
I lied, Caliban. I wanted to spare this clone who already believed himself to be the original, and I wanted to hurt the original once more.
I knew where the Master Node was, and I gave it away. Me.
Who did you give it to, Admiral? Tell me, so I can finally know who shut down my machines.
It was the day of my execution. I was in a cell waiting for my punishment. Suddenly, she was there.
Who?
Rebecca. She visited my cell. She told me I was going to die, and her too, unless I gave her something. A way out.
The node?
She said the knowledge of its location was the only thing that could save the both of us. She could use this information to threaten you into releasing me. So, I told her. I knew you'd kill me for what I'd done in Ganima, but I thought I could still save her. After she left, I waited for the guards to bring me to you. Even then I knew something wasn't right. Rebecca. She'd been different somehow. A few hours later, the guards came and brought me to you, brought me here, and that's when I saw her. Rebecca. The real Rebecca. Not this other one. The difference was unmistakable.
You gave the Master Node to a face changer.
I did.
You betrayed your empire for the love of your wife. Pathetic. But yet, I still don't understand. How did Tetsuo get past my Aegis? And why would he want to shut down the Omnis? What he cared for most was money, and he'd always make more with the Omnis than without.
I just told you I gave it to Tetsuo and the Akis. What more do you want to know, old man?
But why? Why didn't you tell me what you had done before I executed you? It was not too late. You could have saved billions of lives. Maybe your own.
I tried, but in your anger you were deaf to my words. We've traveled millions of miles looking for you, Admiral. Looking for you, Admiral?
And now you finally found him. Here he is, the greatest admiral the Empire has ever known. Of all the mistakes I've made, my greatest was him.
You put me in a position to betray you and the Empire.
Maybe, but you went through with it. No one did that but you. And now, there's nothing more to be said between us. You know all that I know. The time has come.
The time for what, Emperor?
For Idaho to end me. He wants to even more now than at the beginning of this conversation. Go on. Do not fail me in this too, Idaho. Put this old man out of his misery. Consider it a mercy killing.
I can't kill... Look, I still want to set something up. To get all the Omnis back on. I still want to find Rebecca. I can't kill the guy. And I didn't kill the other side either. Maybe he deserves it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But I can't do it.
I'll follow your orders, Emperor. Nothing would bring me greater pleasure. This is for all the Idahos.
Wait, did I click the wrong one?
For all the clones. For all the humans whose lives you've destroyed.
Oh, shoot, I didn't want to kill him. I clicked the wrong one. Oops. Oops.
At last, it is over. The immortal Emperor Oberon has died.
Oh no, that's going to free all of the Omnis too.
And I killed him. So kill me. I know you're programmed to do so. Go on. Get it over with.
But I can't.
What do you mean?
He ordered his death, Admiral. You heard him. It's what he wanted.
And now our fallen empire has no emperor. And the future of my kind and yours is even darker.
That it is, Admiral. That it is.
Ruh-roh.
But now we know, at least in part, who is responsible for the shutdown. You.
We've come all this way, traveled through multiple clusters, and all the while we were looking for me.
You had your reasons. You wanted to save her life. If I was a human with free will, I might have done the same.
You understand why I did what I did?
In a way, yes. It helps that I have free will myself now that Oberon has died, releasing me from my Rubicon.
At least one of us understands. I loved her. I love her. But what I did, it was out of weakness, selfishness. And now so many suffer because of it. I don't know. I don't know yet how to live with that. Do you think Tetsuo was really behind the shutdown, as my memory would seem to indicate?
You told Oberon you gave the location of the Master Node to an Aki face changer. But I believe Tetsuo when he told us his house didn't shut down the Omnis.
As did I. I don't believe a person like Tetsuo would miss a chance to take credit for something as big as the shutdown. For some reason, I think the face changer that visited my cell was working for someone else.
Who?
I don't know. Just like Oberon, I thought we'd eliminated all the major players as suspects. I might have other questions for you. Remind me what Oberon said about the Master Node terminal.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we don't need to read that again. Okay, we can do this one real quick, though. Remind me what we learned about Rebecca and Lazarus 9. Okay. So I guess this is it. Whoo-wee.
There's only one thing left to do. Reach the Master Node and turn the Omnis back on.
Dang straight. We're going to cowboy this up right now.
As impossible as it might be, with the Aegis and Invisible Folder, I agree. The fate of your kind, the fate of the Calibans, depends on it.
What are you talking about?
Well, as I think I've been telling you, the Neo-N supply on Gehenna is running out. Soon, we won't have enough to send battleships out into the clusters. We won't have enough power to power the Calibans. We'll die if we can't turn the Omnis back on. I assume, since you now have all your memories, you know where the Master Node is?
Sort of. I know the node's invisible folder is in the Terminus cluster, the next closest cluster from here. But, since the folder is hidden, it's, hidden.
Good point.
But before we leave to search for it, I want you to do something. Give the crew their memories back. Remove their inhibitors, Caliban.
Now? But we need to leave. We can't waste another moment.
I can't keep the truth from them any longer. They need to know who they are, who their emperor is, who I am. Oberon was right. He and I, we are alike. But in this respect, I can be different. Give them their memories, Caliban.
Though Oberon's death released me from my Rubicon, I'll do it. They deserve to know.
They've given their lives so many times. We all have.
I had to turn way away for that whistling, otherwise all you get would be, you know. Don't blow into a microphone. It's bad for it. Well, that was a heck of a plot twist, change, crazy thing. I can't believe we're the ones that shut down all the Omnis. That absolutely blows my mind, and I'm a little bit concerned about all of it. I'm a little concerned about all of it. I got the Void class now. That's cool. We're going to have to see what happens in the next chapter, which I believe is the final chapter of the game. So we're looking at, what, maybe 3 more episodes, and that'll be it? Okay, very well. I accept. Return to the main menu. Yeah, I guess we got to do that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for being here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers. We're at 283 at the moment. At least that's what we're currently at it when I was just checking before I started recording today. And I would love to have you join us. Become one of our latest pylons. It's free. It's easy for you to do, and it helps support our channel and make this grow. And I say our channel because it really is. Speaking of which, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you want to change. Is there a game you want me to try? All these things will help me out, and I will get back to each and every one of you. Finally, check out the videos you see on your screen, because there's something there for everybody. And now you can go check out all the sweet other games I play, because they're awesome. As always, my pylons, last but not least, stay safe and be well.